don't know if I should present this award on behalf of all the cowboys shot in all the John Ford westerns over the years.
I like playing the character because he's a guy who's old school, he's from another generation,
We're all concerned with the human dilemma and our confrontation with the fates. Human beings engulfed in a lunatic dictatorship.
What do I care about? It's not the younger generation, it's the older generation now. The younger generation's
Clint Eastwood versus woke Hollywood. It sounds like a bad B-movie, right? Except it's real, it's happening now, and the drama is off the charts. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great, thank you so much. Now, back to the video. Eastwood's latest comments have turned Tinseltown upside down. He's calling out everyone from studio execs to social media warriors. And the response is, oh boy, you gotta see this to believe it. Remember when Clint Eastwood was the ultimate tough guy? Well, he's still tough, but now he's fighting a different kind of battle. Eastwood's been in the game for decades, from squinting in westerns to directing gritty dramas.
One is you ask a question, and two is you ask another question. This kind of certainty comes but just once in a lifetime.
Every gun makes its own tune.
He's seen Hollywood change more times than most of us have changed our socks. But now, Eastwood's saying the industry's gone soft.
for no particular reason, or they have just a small amount of information and they just run off with that.
Too worried about hurting people's feelings. What's his problem? He thinks all these new rules are killing creativity. It's like trying to paint a masterpiece with your hands tied behind your back, you know? And get this, Eastwood's not the only one who thinks this way. Other old school stars are speaking up too. Jon Voight and Kevin Sorbo are right there with him, saying all this political correctness is messing with their art. They're like, how are we supposed to tell real stories if we're always walking on eggshells?
Correctness, kissing up. That's the kiss-ass generation. I'm sorry I used that word. Generation we're in right now. Everybody's walking on eggshells.
But hold up a second, is it really that simple? Let's look at some actual numbers here. Turns out there's been a big jump in diverse films and roles over the last 10 years. More stories are being told, more voices are being heard, so maybe it's not all bad. Here's where it gets weird though. Some younger stars are actually agreeing with Eastwood. Yeah, you heard that right. Even some of the diverse actors and filmmakers are saying, hey, this pressure to be woke all the time, it's not helping.
I don't know if I should present this award on behalf of all the cowboys shot in all the John Ford westerns over the years.
They're worried it's stopping them from telling authentic stories. So how are other celebrities reacting to Eastwood's comments? It's like a Hollywood civil war out there. Some are backing him up, saying he's brave for speaking out. Others are calling him a dinosaur who needs to get with the times. It's tearing Tinseltown apart and nobody knows how it's gonna end.
Trolling. It expresses embarrassment or insecurity. It's not that they're laughing at you or anything.
You people are nuts.
But this fight, it's just getting started. Eastwood's not backing down, and neither are his critics. It's like watching a real-life movie drama unfold, and we're all waiting to see what happens next. Trust me, you're gonna want to stick around for this one. So Eastwood stirred up a hornet's nest, but get this, his movies are still raking in the cash. How's he pulling that off when half of Hollywood wants him gone? There's more to this story than meets the eye, and it's got industry insiders nervous. Let's be real, Eastwood's never been one to mince words. Remember that empty chair speech at the Republican National Convention? Yeah, he's been ruffling feathers for years. But now, people are digging up his old comments like they're buried treasure. They're trying to cancel him, but it's not working out like they hoped. Take his remarks at the 1973 Oscars about Marlon Brando's Oscar withdrawal.
We're all concerned with the human dilemma and our confrontation with the fates. Human beings engulfed in a lunatic dictatorship. Men brutalized by their fellow men in a hostile river. Families ripping up their old roots.
People are calling it racist now, but Eastwood, he's not backing down. He's doubling down, making more controversial films and saying whatever he wants. It's like he's daring people to come at him.
Are afraid to admit that they maybe made a mistake, so it's better to be overly defensive and just say, well, I'm voting for him again. It's the relationships. And their relationship is certainly the most important relationship in the picture.
His 2020 film Richard Jewell is a perfect example. It's raw, it's authentic, and it doesn't give a damn about being politically correct. And guess what? People are still watching. They're voting with their wallets, and they're saying they want more of what Eastwood's serving up.
What do I care about? It's not the younger generation, it's the older generation now. The younger generation.
But here's where it gets really interesting. Some big shots in Hollywood are quietly supporting him. Why? Because they're scared. They're afraid of what's happening to creativity in the industry. All these new rules, all this pressure to be woke. It's like trying to make a gourmet meal with one hand tied behind your back. So why won't Eastwood apologize for his past remarks? Here's the kicker. He doesn't think he needs to. He said straight up that he's not interested in pandering to the woke crowd. He wants to tell stories that matter because they're real, not because they tick some diversity box.
I like playing the character because he's a guy who's old school. He's from another generation.
From relatives you can gain a lot, but they all said sort of the same thing. He was definitely...
Eastwood's not taking sides politically, he's just saying what he thinks, and he's not about to stop now. It's driving the Hollywood elite crazy. They can't figure out how to shut him up, and it's making them look weak. This isn't just about Eastwood anymore, it's about free speech in Hollywood. It's about whether artists can tell the stories they want to tell, or if they have to play by some new rule book. And Eastwood, he's leading the charge, whether Hollywood likes it or not.
It was a very uplifting story in a way. Could have been a terrible tragedy.
To get some sort of relief that the truth is put out there.
So Eastwood's not just taking on Hollywood, he's shaking up how we think about free speech and art. It's like he's daring everyone to take a hard look at what creativity really means. And you know what? It's got people talking.
Fine job. No, I love the guy. No, seriously. Both. No. I say that because he's like, it's like, guess what?
Confirmed. Those are only confirmed by senior officers. There was no, so there's who knows what went on beyond that.
What's this mean for movies down the road? Some folks are worried we're headed for more censorship. Others think Eastwood's paving the way for a new wave of bold filmmaking. It's like we're at a crossroads and nobody knows which way it's gonna go.
The way he designed it, and the fact that he did kind of a spiritual take without making it
But here's the thing, Eastwood's not backing down. At 94, he's still making films and speaking his mind. It's like he's on a mission to keep Hollywood honest. And this showdown, it's just getting started. Eastwood's not riding off into the sunset anytime soon. He's digging in for a fight that could change movies forever.